Today, I will be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to Kogmaw. Kogmaw is the strongest late game ADC in the game, and it's not even close. I will explain to you exactly how you can play this champion, exactly how everything works, because he has quite difficult things to read. Like, for example, if you look at this if you look at everything, it could be confusing, but I'm gonna make everything easy to you. I'll explain to you exactly the playstyle you need with him and everything. Also, if this video reaches 500 likes within one day, I will release a Kogmaw gameplay video the next day. So first things first, let's just address he's an ADC. He's a late game scaling ADC. The way you want to max his abilities, you want to max the second ability first. This is the main ability. We will talk about this ability a lot. After the second ability, you want to max the first ability. Lastly, the third ability. Always put points in your ultimate. So firstly, his passive, kind of a random passive if you ask me, but the way it works, it's like Scion passive basically, but different. So can continue to move and gains 10% movement speed for 4 seconds after dying. The movement speed bonus is increased to 50% over the duration. So he gets faster after a while, like right when he's close to dying. And then he explodes when the effect ends. You will deal true damage when you explode. So just to show you what that means is, you know, when I'm about to die, let's just tank this turret. I will have 4 seconds to run around and just explode myself. So let's do that. So I'm dead. I can keep running, and then boom, after 4 seconds, as you can see, I explode and I do a certain amount of true damage. So it's really as simple as that. The only thing you can really do with this is if you ever die, you can just walk towards the enemy and kill them. You can also use this to play aggressively, because the way you need to think about this, Kogmaw is a late game champion. If you ever get an opportunity to kill the enemy Draven, like let's say you're diving that Draven and then, you know, he kills you or whatever. Actually, that's not really a good example because you don't want to give kills to Draven. But let's say against a Misfortune early game and you find an opportunity to do enough damage to her where she kills you, but you will be able to get her with that movement speed, because there is a difference to this. The thing about this is this passive is instant. So the moment you die, you will immediately be able to run towards the enemy. You're gonna be faster than them because you get 10 to 50% movement speed and you have 4 seconds to catch up to them. So like, let's say I'm, you know, Misfortune kills me at this distance. I will be able to run her down. And the enemy turret hitting me, it's not gonna happen because I'm dead. I will just have 4 seconds as a shadow to move towards her and explode on her and do that true damage, which could get me a kill. So think about it like that with the passive. You are a late game champion. If you ever find opportunities to do enough damage to the enemy, die to that enemy, but then be able to chase them down with your ghost and kill them, do it. Now the first ability, which is also quite an important ability. So Kogmaw does physical and magic damage, but I would say mostly magic damage. Early game it's mostly physical damage, but late game it's going to be mostly magic. So this ability, it has a few things you need to know about it. So vomits a corrosive projectile that deals a certain amount of damage, and it shreds armor and magic resist. So as you can see, boom, that's how it works. It will only work on one target, so you cannot shoot it through everyone. But what is important about this ability? The first thing that's important is it's a basic attack reset. So basic attack, first ability, basic attack. Look at how quick that is. Like, look at how quick, look. Instant. It's instant, like you can instantly basic attack. What it does is it cancels the animation. So the moment you spit out the attack, there's like a split second after that, which, you know, is an animation of like your attack, but you can cancel it with the first ability. And right after your first ability, it immediately opens up the window to do another basic attack. So basic attack, first ability, basic attack. It's so fast. It's so fast. It's truly super fast. So use this ability as a combo, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. And of course, just use it mostly on a tank. Like, let's say a tank is diving you. You know, you have to take down tanks. Kogmaw is known to be a tank killer. And there's multiple reasons to that. The first reason is this, right? He shreds the armor and magic resist. So let's say enemy Mundo is walking up to you, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. I can keep attacking him and do additional damage because I shredded his armor and magic resist. The next reason why Kogmaw is so broken late game and why he destroys tanks is the second ability. And this is where I want you guys to take a moment and really understand this ability. This ability gives his attacks bonus range. This is why you want to max it first, because without this ability, his range is trash. It's trash. Like trash, okay? As you can see. But when you use it, boom! Look at this. You get immense range. And you can see why this is broken. Like, just look at how fast. You see how quickly I took down a 10,000 HP dummy? This ability is also a basic attack reset. Basic attack and then this. I would say, although not as relevant, because you just want to use this ability, honestly. This ability, you simply just want to use it. It has a long cooldown. Be careful with this ability. Very careful, because you're not building Navori's Quick Blade. I'll talk about the build after, by the way. You're not building Navori Quick Blade on Kogmaw. So be very careful with this ability, because if you use this, if you misuse it, enemies are going to try to bait this out of you. They're going to try to bait you to use this. You're going to hit them twice, and then they run away, and then your ability is gone. You're useless for like 12 seconds. I mean, you're not useless, but you can see how this ability is a core part to his kit. So this ability, your basic attacks will do an additional damage, 8% max health. This is going to be, 3 to 6% plus scaling with AP. But basically, your basic attacks are just gonna be immensely powerful against tanks. Because besides shredding their magic resist, you're also gonna do damage based on their max HP. And it doesn't matter how low they get, you're gonna keep doing that damage. You're gonna keep doing it. Your second ability, regardless of how low they are, it does damage based on maximum HP. It is incredible. Next up, we have this ability. This ability is also important because you don't really care about the damage. That's the first thing. But this ability goes through everyone. As you can see, it just goes right through everyone. The point of this ability is you can slow... Let's say I want to catch up this enemy. Third ability, I can second ability and just... He's going to be slowed. He's going to be slowed for super long. So he's only going to be slowed within the trail. But the trail is pretty thick. So if he wants to run away this way... He can't really. He has to like get out of the trail, right? Like if he's running away, he has to run like this, which is going to take him forever because he's slowed by such a huge amount. So use this if you're running, if you're chasing an enemy, or if you're running away, boom, and just keep running. A cool little trick you can do as well, if a melee champion is running away, or if a melee champion is chasing you, and if he's really close, rather than using this ability like this, boom, he's gonna get through it and he's gonna keep chasing you, you can actually, you can do this and run through your own trail. And then what the enemy melee champion is gonna have to do, only use this if he's on your ass, by the way. If he's basically inside of your ass, like right here, you can see this dummy is right up my ass. Here he's outside of my ass, but here he's like in it. He's literally in it, right? So when he's in my ass, I use it like this, and it even hits him, and I can run through my trail. And now this ability, which is, I want to say, an extremely interesting ability, and quite a game-changing one as well. Kogmaw he has no mobility. Like, if you get caught, you're dead. You're absolutely dead. He's a backline artillery type of carry, where he's basically nuking the enemy. Like, you just keep shooting. But if the enemy is in my ass, like, I can't escape. I have no tools to escape. So, the ultimate helps you with that. So, first things first. Your ult passively gives you attack speed. Basically, every time you upgrade your ultimate, you get 10% attack speed. This is relevant because, late game Kogmaw, really strong. Of course, always put a point in your ult. So, let's read through it. You shoot acid at an area, okay? You reveal that area for 2 seconds. So, let me show you. I'm going to turn off the vision. You reveal the area. Look. I can see, right? I can see what's happening. This is super relevant because I can see that the enemy is taking Baron. You know what I mean? This is important with the ability. I can see. Right before I engage in a bush, I'm gonna hit this bush. Boom. Right? Right before I want to engage here, boom, I'm gonna hit this. Right before I go Drake, boom. But you need to be careful about something. And this is gonna, a lot of people are not gonna like this, but this ability is gonna cost more mana every time you use it. We'll get to that. But what this ability also does, it does damage. After it reveals, it does damage. And this damage scales with the target's missing health. If the enemies are low HP, this ability is going to start to pack a larger punch. It starts at 269 damage at like maximum items, but it goes to like double that, literally double that, when the enemies are below 40%. So this ability is only really relevant for damage if they are below 40% health. You don't really want to use it for damage like this. Like, this does nothing. Look, 140 damage. I mean, just basic attack. Like, basic attacking is a lot better. Only use this for the vision. And, like, I guess poke a little bit. But mostly to finish off the enemies as well. but I would say the biggest use is the vision. But then subsequent shots within 8 seconds cost an additional 40 mana. It's like Kazarin's ultimate, where it costs extra mana if you use the ult 3 times. Here it costs extra mana 8 times. So, actually 10 times. It goes to 9 stacks, but it starts with 40 mana, so it's like very cheap to use. But if you use it a lot within those 8 seconds, you can see, like if I turn off my infinite mana, the cooldown is 0, by the way. You can just spam this ability. But if I turn off my infinite mana, look at my mana. Look. I cannot use many ults. And now suddenly, I cannot use my second ability anymore. Be very careful with this. Please. Don't spam your ultimate like an idiot, thinking like, oh, 3 damage. Super big range. I'm gonna hit the enemy. Look at me. Wow, I'm destroying them. And then all of a sudden, you're not even gonna be able to use your second ability anymore. And you're just completely and utterly useless. Now, regarding combos, it's really simple. Like, you know, second ability. Now, I told you about the combo basic attack, first ability, basic attack. You can do basic attack, third ability, basic attack. But the biggest and most important thing I want you guys to understand with Kogmaw is the way you want to team fight. Because look at this. I want you to see the difference between this and this. Look at this damage. Look at how much damage. You're wondering, how am I doing 600 damage per dummy? Doesn't the Runan's Hurricane do like 60% damage? No. Runan's Hurricane does 60% physical damage, but it applies full on-hit effects. What does this mean? Listen to me, guys. The second ability does 8% max health damage. When you use the second ability with a Runan's Hurricane, all of a sudden we're doing 8% max health to 3 enemies. You can see how Kogmaw is going to be a pentakill machine. You can see. Like, you can see it right here. Absolute pentakill machine. But after that second ability is gone, the damage is useless. Useless. Okay? Let's now talk about the build. Also want to remind you guys, you know, if you want to improve your fitness game, you want to get stronger, there's a link in the description where you can get help from me and another fitness coach with Player vs. Fitness. You can book a meeting with us for free. It's absolutely free to book a meeting, see if we are a good fit for you. If you want to bulk up during the winter, if you have goals for 2026, reach out. So here's the build. The way you want to do it, this is actually the build the game gave, which I like a lot. But I have some changes to it. So first things first, it depends if you want to start with Runans or Nashor's Tooth. Nashor's Tooth, you want to start if you picked in a bit of an unfortunate draft. If you didn't pick into a lot of melee champions, like if the enemy has a lot of long range stuff like Ashe, Jhin, by the way, champions you want to avoid is champions that can destroy you in lane. So think about Jhin, think about Draven, think about Ashe. Those types of champions you want to avoid because they're going to destroy you in lane. But like Ezreal, for example, is very easy because if Ezreal gets close, you can just hide behind the minion and use your bonus range to actually outpoke him in his own lane. Regardless, you still want to get a Runans, but just not early on, because early on, you're just not that strong yet. If you're against like an Alistar in lane and a Darius top lane and then a Lee Sin jungle, you want to go Runans first. Well, regardless, you want to go for an on-hit build. You want to get a Terminus, even though Terminus is a trash item. You want to get Riftmaker, Wit's End, perhaps a Blade of the Rune King, if they have that much HP. Blade of the Rune King can be good as well, but I don't really recommend it much, because the on-hit damage of Blade of the Rune King does not transfer with the Runans. Funny how that interaction works, don't ask me why, but Runans and Blade of the Rune King, the interaction does not work. The thing is, the Wild Rift does currently, as of recording right now, doesn't have many on-hit items. So it's very straightforward what you're gonna build. Every single on-hit item. There is not a single other on-hit item in the game that exists. These are all, Blade of the Rune King, but I just told you the thing with Blade of the Rune King, but you wanna go every on-hit item and Riftmaker. Because he still likes magic damage. He loves the true damage because he does percentage HP damage, and he loves the Omnivamp to heal him up a ton. Regarding the boots, you don't really need Berserker Greaves. The reason being is because Glutinous Griefs is just going to be better, just in keeping you alive in lane. Like, you want to get these early just to really keep you alive. And then even late game, they're quite good because they give good attack damage, which just gives you basic attacks, nice damage. You already have more than enough attack speed. You don't need to overkill it with the boots. Like, it's quite literally an overkill. And runes, of course, lethal tempo, brutal. Reason you go brutal, Gathering Storm is a lot better late game, but you go brutal because early game. You want to get through the early game. And with a Runaan's Hurricane, it triples the damage of brutal when you hit 3 enemies. Here you want to go Giant Slayer, Legend Alacrity, or some attack speed because you already have enough Vampirism. And then here Bone Plating so you don't get one shot. So Ghost and Flash are really good for late game. Although Barrier could save you in lane. Cleanse is also playable, but like if you just want to focus on late game, go for Ghost. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video.